Hi everyone, tonight on Margaret Radio, Health in Later Life, we're going to settle in and talk about something truly fundamental, something as gentle as a soft blanket and as powerful as the rising sun. We're going to explore how a good night's sleep can sharpen your focus tomorrow. It's a quiet promise, isn't it? The idea that by simply letting go and drifting off, you are actively preparing your mind for the clarity and alertness of a new day. You know that feeling at the end of a long day, when your thoughts feel a little bit like a well-loved, cluttered room. The day's conversations, the errands you ran, the news you read, that little worry that keeps peeking out from behind a curtain, it all feels scattered about. Your focus, which was perhaps so sharp this morning, now feels soft around the edges, a bit hazy. You find yourself rereading the same sentence in a book, or you walk into a room and stand for a moment, wondering what you came in for. This isn't a failing. It's simply the gentle exhaustion of a mind that has been working hard all day, processing, feeling, and thinking for you. Sleep, in its profound wisdom, is the process of tidying that room. It's not just about your body resting in a comfortable bed. It's about your brain undertaking a crucial, nightly ritual of cleansing and organization. We often think of sleep as a passive state, a simple turning off of the lights. But it is an incredibly active and intricate process, especially for our cognitive function. It's the time when the brain sorts through the day's memories, filing away what's important and gently sweeping away what is not. It's a much kinder way to find clarity than some of the other methods we sometimes fall into. And I think we've all been there. That moment, late at night, when you decide to just quickly look up one little thing online, and suddenly an hour has passed. You started with a simple question about why your knee has been making a funny clicking sound, and now you're somehow reading user reviews for a brand of toaster made in 1978. It's so easy to get lost down those strange digital rabbit holes, searching for answers when perhaps the most restorative answer of all is simply to switch off the screen and allow our minds the quiet space they need to heal. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. In the comments below, I'd love to know where you're listening from tonight, and what time it is in your part of the world. It's a wonderful way for us to feel connected in this quiet moment, a small global community seeking a little peace and understanding together. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Just allow yourself to settle. Feel the weight of your body being supported by the chair or the bed beneath you. Take a soft, slow breath in, and a long, gentle breath out. Let's begin by simply picturing that room in your mind, the one filled with the day's thoughts. There's no rush to tidy it. We're just going to sit with it, and understand why, sometimes, it feels a little more cluttered than we'd like. We'll explore the reasons why our sleep might not be as restorative as it could be, and how that directly translates into the way our focus feels the next day. So let's just stay here for a moment, in this quiet, settled space. You can feel the day begin to recede, like a tide going out, leaving behind the little shells and stones of its experiences on the shore of your mind. The primary reason our focus can feel so soft and unreliable the day after a poor night's sleep is because the most important work of the brain happens long after we've closed our eyes. It all comes down to the architecture of your sleep, the beautiful and surprisingly complex structure of the journey you take each night. Think of it not as a flat, unchanging state, but as a descent down a gentle, winding staircase, with several important landings along the way. When you first drift off, you enter the early stages of light sleep. This is the porch of the house of sleep. You're easily awakened, your thoughts might drift in dreamlike, fragmented ways. It's here that your brain is taking a preliminary inventory of that cluttered room we spoke of. It's looking around, noting the mental papers on the desk, the emotional coats thrown over a chair, the little dust bunnies of worry in the corners. It's a preparatory phase, essential for what comes next. If you are undisturbed, your brain guides you further down the staircase into what is known as deep sleep, or slow wave sleep. This is the most physically and mentally restorative part of the night. This is where the true, heavy-duty cleaning begins. The tidying here is profound. And here we find a truly remarkable and well-established health fact, one that scientists have only come to fully appreciate in recent years. During this deep sleep stage, your brain initiates a kind of rinsing cycle. The channels between your brain cells actually widen, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to flow through more freely, washing away metabolic byproducts and toxins that have accumulated throughout the day. One of these byproducts is a protein called beta amyloid. You may have heard of it in other contexts, as it's the protein that can form the plaques associated with certain neurological conditions. Every single day, your brain produces this protein as a simple byproduct of its normal function. And every single night, during deep, slow-wave sleep, your brain's elegant cleaning crew works to wash it away, keeping your neural pathways clear and efficient. Imagine a crew of silent, diligent workers coming into that cluttered room of your mind, not just tidying, but deep cleaning. They are scrubbing the floors, airing out the space, and carrying away the day's trash. This process is absolutely vital for maintaining cognitive function. It's what allows your brain to reset. It's what creates the foundation for sharp focus and clear thinking the next day. But this deep cleaning crew is shy. They only work in the profound quiet and stillness of undisturbed deep sleep. If you are pulled up the staircase, even for a moment, by a noise, a change in temperature, a physical discomfort, the cleaning process halts. The crew retreats, waiting for the quiet to return. If this happens repeatedly throughout the night, the cleaning is left incomplete. You wake up in the morning, and while you may have been unconscious for 7 or 8 hours, your brain hasn't had the chance to finish its vital work. That feeling of brain fog, that mental stickiness, is, in a very real sense, the leftover metabolic debris that the cleaning crew didn't have time to clear away. It's not a character flaw or a lack of mental discipline on your part. It is the physiological result of an interrupted, incomplete cleansing cycle. Your brain is literally starting the day with yesterday's clutter still hanging in the air. After a period in deep sleep, you ascend the staircase slightly into what we call REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. This is the stage most associated with vivid dreaming. If deep sleep is about cleaning the physical space of the brain, REM sleep is about organizing the contents. The diligent librarian of your mind, who we mentioned earlier, is now hard at work. This is when your brain processes the day's emotional experiences. It's a time of sorting and consolidation. The librarian takes the important memories from the day, the new skill you learned, the meaningful conversation you had, and carefully files them away in the long-term storage of your mind's library. This is crucial for learning and memory. At the same time, the librarian works to soften the sharp emotional edges of difficult or stressful events. It's as if it files the memory of the event, but uncouples it from the intense, raw emotion, allowing you to process what happened without being continually overwhelmed by it. This emotional regulation is a cornerstone of mental resilience and, by extension, your ability to focus. When you are emotionally balanced, your focus isn't constantly being hijacked by unresolved feelings or anxieties. So, this cycle, from light sleep, down to deep sleep, and up to REM sleep, repeats itself several times a night, typically every 90 to 110 minutes. The first half of the night is dominated by that crucial, cleansing deep sleep. The second half of the night features longer periods of organizing, emotional processing REM sleep. For you to wake up feeling truly refreshed, with a mind that is clear, calm, and ready to focus, you need to complete 4 or 5 of these cycles, allowing each stage to do its unique and important work without significant interruption. The problem, for so many of us, is that the modern world is filled with subtle, and not so subtle, saboteurs of this beautiful, natural architecture. Let's start with the most pervasive one in our current age: light, specifically the blue light that emanates from the screens of our phones, tablets, televisions, and computers. For hundreds of thousands of years, the human brain has operated on a very simple, powerful cue. Bright light means day, time to be alert; darkness means night, time to rest. Your brain has a master clock, a small cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, located in the hypothalamus. This master clock takes its cues from the light that enters your eyes. When it detects the fading light of sunset, it sends a signal to another part of your brain, the pineal gland, to begin producing melatonin. Melatonin is often called the hormone of darkness. It doesn't so much force you to sleep as it opens the door for sleep to arrive. It's the gentle herald that announces nighttime, telling every cell in your body that it's time to wind down and prepare for rest. Now, imagine you've had a long day. It's 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Your body is tired, but you decide to just scroll through your phone for a few minutes, or watch one more episode of a show. The light from that screen, particularly its high concentration of blue spectrum light, beams directly into your eyes. Your ancient, wise brain, which doesn't know the difference between the light from the sun and the light from a tiny screen, gets a very confusing message. The master clock sees this bright light and thinks, wait a minute, it must still be daytime. This is no time to rest. It then sends a message to the pineal gland, hold off on the melatonin. It's not nighttime yet. We need to stay awake and alert. So, the very hormone that is meant to be lulling you into a state of rest is suppressed. You might feel physically tired, your body might be aching for sleep, but your brain is being chemically stimulated to stay awake. You've essentially created a conflict between your body and your brain. When you finally do turn off the screen and try to sleep, your brain is still in a state of mild alert. It takes longer to fall asleep, and when you do, the quality of that sleep is often compromised. You miss out on some of that initial, deep, restorative sleep because your brain took so long to get the memo that it was, in fact, nighttime. It's a gentle but persistent form of jet lag that we inflict upon ourselves every single evening. Then there is the matter of what we consume in the hours before bed. Let's talk about food. A large, heavy meal close to bedtime can be another significant disruptor. Digestion is a very active process. It requires energy and increased blood flow to your digestive system. If your body is hard at work breaking down a heavy steak or a rich dessert, it can't fully relax into the deep, restorative stages of sleep. Your body is trying to do two demanding jobs at once: digest a meal and repair your brain. Inevitably, one or both will suffer. You might not even be aware of it, but this internal activity can cause microarousals, pulling you out of deep sleep just enough to interrupt the cleaning cycle, even if you don't fully wake up. It's like trying to have that deep cleaning crew work while another team is noisily moving furniture in and out of the room. It's simply not an environment conducive to their best work. And of course, there's caffeine. It's a wonderful tool for alertness in the morning, but its effects can linger far longer than we realize. Caffeine works by blocking the receptors in your brain for a neurochemical called adenosine. Adenosine builds up in your brain throughout the day, and the more it accumulates, the sleepier you feel. It's one of the primary drivers of what we call sleep pressure. Caffeine is like putting a block of wood under the brake pedal of your sleepiness. It doesn't get rid of the adenosine, it just stops your brain from recognizing that it's there. The half-life of caffeine can be anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, or even longer for some people. This means if you have a cup of coffee at 4 in the afternoon, by 10 o'clock at night, a significant amount of that caffeine could still be active in your system, blocking your sleepiness signals. You might eventually fall asleep out of sheer exhaustion, but the quality of that sleep is often shallower, with less of the vital deep sleep your brain craves. Alcohol is another common culprit, and it's a particularly tricky one because it creates the illusion of being a sleep aid. A glass of wine or a nightcap can indeed make you feel drowsy and help you fall asleep more quickly. It acts as a sedative, depressing your central nervous system. So, you drift off, thinking you're on your way to a great night's rest. However, as your body metabolizes the alcohol, a rebound effect occurs. The initial sedative effect wears off, and your brain activity actually ramps up. This typically happens in the second half of the night, precisely when you are supposed to be getting your longest, most important periods of REM sleep. The alcohol fragments your sleep, causing you to wake up more frequently, often tossing and turning. You miss out on that critical emotional processing and memory consolidation that happens during REM. This is why you can sleep for 8 hours after a few drinks and still wake up feeling exhausted, mentally foggy, and emotionally frayed. The quantity of sleep was there, but the quality, the architectural integrity, was profoundly compromised. Beyond what we consume, there is the powerful influence of our own minds. Stress, worry, and anxiety are perhaps the most formidable saboteurs of sleep. When you are stressed or anxious, your body's sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, is activated. This system releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Cortisol, in particular, is meant to be your daytime alertness hormone. Its levels are naturally highest in the morning to help you wake up and get going, and they should gradually decline throughout the day, reaching their lowest point at night to allow for sleep. However, when you're dealing with chronic stress, worries about finances, health, or family, your cortisol levels can remain elevated well into the evening. Cortisol is the diligent watchman of your body, constantly scanning for threats. When it's high at night, it's as if that watchman is striding through the halls of your mind, shining a bright flashlight into every room, shouting, "Stay alert. There might be danger. No time to rest." Your body is being flooded with a chemical signal that is the polar opposite of sleep. You lie in bed, your body heavy with fatigue, but your mind is racing. This is the origin of that frustrating experience of being tired but wired. Your thoughts might circle around and around a particular problem, a conversation from the day, or a task for tomorrow. Each worried thought can trigger another small release of stress hormones, perpetuating the cycle. Many people ask, how can I possibly tell my brain to just stop worrying? And it's such a valid and deeply human question. It often feels like our thoughts have a life of their own, especially in the stillness of the night when there are no distractions to keep them at bay. This state of mental hyperarousal makes it difficult to fall asleep, but it also impacts the sleep you do get. Even when you finally drift off, the elevated cortisol can keep your sleep light and fragmented, preventing you from descending into those deeper, more restorative stages. You might wake up in the middle of the night, your heart pounding, with a sense of dread. The watchman has spotted another perceived threat. And so, the cleaning crew and the librarian never get a chance to do their work properly. You wake up not only with the mental clutter of yesterday but also with the unprocessed emotional residue of your worries, making it nearly impossible to find clear, calm focus. It is a gentle truth that our bodies are incredibly sensitive to our environment. The physical world around you as you sleep plays a huge role in the quality of your rest. Let's consider temperature. To initiate sleep, your body's core temperature needs to drop by a couple of degrees. This temperature drop is a powerful, primal signal to your brain that it's time for sleep. If your bedroom is too warm, it can interfere with this natural process. Your body has to work harder to cool itself down, and this effort can disrupt the transition into sleep and pull you out of the deeper stages. You might find yourself tossing and turning, trying to find a cool spot, pushing the blankets away. These are all subtle struggles that fragment your sleep architecture. The ideal temperature for sleep is surprisingly cool, typically between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. It's about creating an environment where your body doesn't have to fight to achieve that crucial temperature drop. It's a very simple thing, the temperature of a room, yet its effect on the intricate chemistry of your sleep is profound. Then there is noise. Even if you live in a quiet place, the world is rarely silent. A passing car, a neighbor's dog barking, the furnace kicking onto these sounds can be just enough to disturb your sleep, even if you don't consciously remember waking up. Your ears are always on duty, a part of your brain's ancient predator detection system. When an unexpected sound occurs, your brain has to make a split-second decision. Is that a threat? This brief analysis can be enough to pull you from a state of deep sleep into a lighter stage. If this happens multiple times a night, you are left with a collection of incomplete sleep cycles. It's like a movie that keeps being paused every few minutes. You might see the whole thing, but you lose the flow, the narrative, the emotional impact. You wake up in the morning feeling vaguely irritable and unfocused, with no clear memory of having been disturbed, but your brain knows its work was constantly interrupted. And of course, there is the surface on which you sleep. Your bed, your mattress, your pillows. We can become so accustomed to them that we don't realize they may no longer be serving us. A mattress that sags, or one that is too firm, can create pressure points on your body. A pillow that doesn't properly support your neck can cause strain. These might not be sources of acute pain, but rather of low-level, chronic discomfort. Throughout the night, your body sends a stream of quiet signals to your brain about this discomfort. My hip is feeling a bit compressed. My neck is at a slight angle. Your brain, ever attentive, has to process these signals. This background chatter of physical unease can be just enough to keep your sleep shallower than it should be. This is where a small, comforting insight can be found. Sometimes the most powerful change we can make for our sleep isn't some grand, expensive gesture. It can be something as wonderfully simple as finding the cool side of the pillow. That small, tactile sensation of coolness against your skin is a primal signal to your brain that it is safe, comfortable, and okay to let go and drift deeper into rest. It's a micro-adjustment that can have a macro impact on your sleep quality. As we journey through life, our own bodies naturally change, and these internal shifts can also be a cause for changes in our sleep patterns. Our internal clock, that master circadian rhythm we talked about, can shift as we get older. This is a normal part of aging. You might find yourself feeling sleepy earlier in the evening, say at 8 or 9 o'clock, and then waking up much earlier in the morning, perhaps at 4 or 5. This is often called an advanced sleep phase. There is nothing inherently wrong with this. It is simply a recalibration of your internal clock. The problem arises when we try to fight it, staying up later to match the schedules of younger family members or to watch a late movie. We end up going to bed when our body is already past its ideal window for sleep, and then we still wake up at our new, earlier biological time, resulting in a net loss of sleep. It's more helpful to understand and work with this new rhythm rather than against it. Furthermore, the production of melatonin, our key sleep hormone, naturally tends to decline with age. This means the signal for sleep might not be as strong as it once was. The door to sleep might not open as widely or as readily. This can contribute to taking longer to fall asleep and experiencing more fragmented sleep throughout the night. It's a subtle, gradual change, but compounded over time, it can lead to a chronic sleep deficit that directly impacts daytime focus, memory, and mood. It's another example of how it's not a failure on your part, but simply a biological shift that requires a new level of awareness and new strategies to manage effectively. We must also acknowledge the very real physical realities that can interrupt sleep. The need to get up and use the restroom, a condition known as nocturia, becomes more common with age and can be a significant disruptor of sleep cycles. Each time you have to get up, your sleep architecture is shattered. You have to start the process of descending that staircase all over again, and you may never get back to the deep, restorative sleep you were in. Chronic pain, from arthritis or other conditions, is another major cause. Pain is a powerful, persistent signal that the brain simply cannot ignore. It keeps the nervous system on high alert, making it almost impossible to achieve the deep relaxation required for restorative sleep. Things like restless leg syndrome or nocturnal leg cramps can also jolt you awake just as you're drifting off. These physical interruptions are not just minor annoyances, they are formidable barriers to the brain's ability to clean, repair, and organize itself. They are persistent messengers demanding attention, pulling the brain's focus away from its essential nightly tasks. Finally, let's consider something as basic as hydration. We know that being well hydrated is important for our health, but we might not connect it directly to sleep quality. If you are even mildly dehydrated by the time you go to bed, it can lead to a dry mouth and throat, which can be enough to cause you to wake up for a sip of water. Dehydration can also contribute to muscle cramping and headaches, both of which are enemies of sound sleep. It's a delicate balance, of course, because drinking too much water right before bed can lead to that other problem of needing to use the restroom. The key is consistent hydration throughout the day, so your body is in a state of balance by the time evening arrives. It's curious and quite humbling to realize how these very simple, fundamental physical needs, for darkness, for quiet, for coolness, for comfort, for hormonal balance, for freedom from pain, for proper hydration, can have such a profound and direct effect on the incredibly complex and sophisticated landscape of our minds. Each one of these factors, from the light of your phone to a subtle ache in your back, is a potential reason why the restorative promise of sleep might not be fully delivered, and why the next day, your focus feels just out of reach, like a word on the tip of your tongue. And so, we find ourselves sitting with this understanding. We see the cluttered room of the mind, we see the diligent but shy cleaning crew, the well-meaning librarian, and all of the saboteurs, the bright lights, the late-night worries, the chorus of tiny discomforts that can interrupt their vital work. It can feel like a complex puzzle, this journey to a truly restorative night's sleep. And when your focus feels just out of reach, it's easy to feel a sense of frustration or helplessness. But I want to invite you to gently set that feeling aside. Because just as there are causes, there are solutions. Gentle, practical, and compassionate solutions. This isn't about waging a war on wakefulness. It's about creating a beautiful, heartfelt invitation for sleep to arrive and to stay. It's about becoming a gracious host for the night, preparing a space so calm and welcoming that the restorative processes of the brain can finally do their work, uninterrupted. Let's begin with the physical space you sleep in, your bedroom. Think of it not just as a room, but as a sanctuary. Your sleep sanctuary. Its primary purpose, for a third of your life, is to be a haven for rest. And the most powerful signal you can send to your brain within this sanctuary is the signal of darkness. Remember how we spoke of that master clock in your brain, the one that is so exquisitely sensitive to light? You can work in harmony with it by creating what I like to call a digital sunset. This is a conscious ritual that begins an hour or two before you intend to be asleep. It starts with dimming the lights in your home. If you have dimmer switches, use them. If not, switch from bright overhead lights to a soft, warm table lamp. This gradual reduction in light mimics the natural fading of the sun and sends the first gentle whisper to your brain that nighttime is approaching. During this digital sunset period, it's also time to say goodnight to your screens. This can be one of the most challenging habits to change, but also one of the most impactful. The bright blue light from your phone, tablet, or television is a direct countersignal to your brain's desire for sleep. Making a commitment to put those devices away at least an hour before bed can be a profound act of kindness to your future self. You are giving your pineal gland the clear, unambiguous signal it needs to begin producing melatonin. If you absolutely must use a screen, you can use features like night mode or apps that reduce blue light, casting the screen in a warmer, amber tone. You might also consider wearing blue light filtering glasses in the evening. They may look a little unusual, but they are a simple, effective tool for protecting your brain's natural rhythm from the confusing glow of the modern world. The final step in mastering the light in your sanctuary is to make your room as dark as possible for sleeping. Even small amounts of light, from a street lamp outside your window, a digital clock, or a charging indicator, can filter through your eyelids and subtly disrupt your sleep architecture. Investing in a good set of blackout curtains can be transformative. They create a true cocoon of darkness. Alternatively, a simple, comfortable sleep mask can be your best friend. Find one that is soft, that doesn't put pressure on your eyes, and that truly blocks out the light. When you create this profound darkness, you are giving your brain the ultimate permission to surrender to sleep, to descend down that staircase into the deep, cleansing stages without interruption. Next, let's cultivate your cocoon of sound. We live in a noisy world, and as we discussed, even subtle, unexpected sounds can pull your brain out of its deep restorative state. You can counter this by creating a consistent, soothing soundscape. Many people find that a simple fan provides the perfect, steady hum. This is what's often called white noise. It's a gentle, unobtrusive sound that encompasses all the frequencies the human ear can hear. The magic of white noise is that it creates a masking effect. Because it's already filling the auditory space, a sudden noise like a car door slamming or a dog barking is less likely to startle you. It gets blended into the existing soundscape rather than standing out as a threat. You can also use a dedicated white noise machine or a mobile app. These often provide different colors of noise. Pink noise, for example, has deeper, lower frequencies, more like a steady rain or rushing waterfall, which many people find even more soothing than white noise. Brown noise is deeper still, like a strong wind or a river current. You might need to experiment to find the sound and volume that feels most comforting to you. Think of it not as blocking out the world, but as giving your hearing a simple, predictable sound to hold on to, allowing it to ignore everything else. It's like giving your ears a soft, weighted blanket, a signal of safety that allows your brain's diligent watchman to finally go off duty. Now, let's talk about creating a cool sanctuary. We know that your body's core temperature needs to drop to initiate and maintain sleep. You can help this process along by ensuring your bedroom is cool. That ideal range of 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, or 15 to 19 Celsius, is a good target. But you can also think about the materials that are touching your skin. Heavy, synthetic fabrics can trap heat and moisture, creating a stuffy, uncomfortable microclimate around your body. Opt for natural, breathable fabrics for your pajamas and your bedding. Cotton, linen, or bamboo are all excellent choices as they allow air to circulate and help wick away moisture, keeping you cool and dry throughout the night. Pay attention to your mattress as well. Some modern memory foam mattresses, while comfortable, are known for trapping body heat. If you find you're often waking up feeling too warm, you might consider a cooling mattress topper or breathable mattress protector. These small adjustments can make a significant difference in preventing those heat-related microarousals that fragment your sleep. With your sanctuary prepared dark, quiet, and cool, we can now turn our attention inward, to the art of the wind-down ritual. This is how you address the overly active mind. You cannot simply command your brain to stop thinking, but you can gently guide it toward a state of quietude. One of the most powerful techniques for this is what's known as a brain dump or maintaining a worry journal. Keep a simple notebook and a pen by your bed. About 30 minutes before you plan to turn out the lights, take a few moments to write down everything that is swirling in your mind. Write down your to-do list for tomorrow. List every task, every errand, every phone call you need to make. Then, write down your worries. Give them a name. Articulate that fear about an upcoming appointment or that unresolved conversation from the day. The physical act of writing these things down is incredibly powerful. It transfers the thoughts from the active, looping space of your mind onto the static, stable space of the paper. It's a symbolic act that tells your brain, I see you. I have acknowledged these things. They are captured here, safe for tomorrow. You no longer need to hold on to them right now. This simple practice can be the key to releasing that feeling of mental hyperarousal, allowing the diligent watchman to finally relax his grip. Once you've cleared your mind, you can engage in a calming, non-stimulating activity. This is not the time for thrilling novels, complex non-fiction, or work-related reading. Choose something gentle. Reading a physical book of light fiction or poetry under the soft glow of a warm lamp is a classic and effective choice. The very act of focusing on a printed page is more relaxing for the eyes and brain than staring at a backlit screen. Listening to calm, instrumental music or a soothing podcast, much like this one, can also help guide your mind away from its worries. A warm bath or shower can be another cornerstone of your wind-down ritual, and this is where we find another well-established health fact about sleep. Taking a warm bath or shower for about 20 minutes, an hour or two before bed, does more than just relax your muscles. It raises your core body temperature slightly. When you get out of the bath or shower and step into your cool bedroom, your body begins to cool down rapidly. This accelerated drop in temperature powerfully mimics the natural cooling process your body undergoes to initiate sleep. It's a strong biological signal to your brain that it's time to produce melatonin and prepare for rest. It's a simple piece of physiological magic that you can use to your advantage, essentially giving your body a running start into sleepiness. Adding Epsom salts, which are rich in magnesium, to your bath may provide additional muscle-relaxing benefits. As you finally settle into bed, in your cool, dark, quiet sanctuary, you can introduce the practice of gentle, conscious breathing. This is a direct way to communicate with your autonomic nervous system, shifting it from the fight or flight mode of the sympathetic system to the rest and digest mode of the parasympathetic system. You don't need to do anything complicated. A simple and well-known technique is the 4-7-8 breath. It's very straightforward. You simply breathe in quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Then, you hold your breath for a count of 7. And finally, you exhale completely and audibly through your mouth for a count of 8. Then you repeat the cycle, perhaps 3 or 4 times. The extended exhale is the most important part of this practice. It actively stimulates the vagus nerve, which is the main highway of your parasympathetic nervous system, sending a direct signal of calm throughout your entire body. It slows your heart rate and lowers your blood pressure. It is a physiological command for relaxation. It tells the watchman that the threat has passed and all is well. Now let's talk about working with your body's rhythms throughout the entire day, because a good night's sleep truly begins the moment you wake up. The single most important thing you can do to stabilize your sleep architecture is to maintain a consistent sleep-wake schedule. This means going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day, yes, even on weekends. When you stick to a consistent schedule, you are anchoring your master clock. Your brain learns when to expect sleep and when to expect wakefulness, and it begins to anticipate these transitions, releasing the right hormones at the right times. If you sleep in until 10 on a Saturday morning, you are giving your brain a confusing signal, similar to inducing mild jet lag. It can make it harder to fall asleep on Sunday night, leading to a tired Monday morning and a struggle to get back on track. This isn't about being rigid and unforgiving. Of course, life happens. But viewing a consistent schedule as your default baseline can be one of the most powerful changes you make. It's a gentle pattern, and if you deviate from it one night for a happy occasion, it's not a failure. It's simply about understanding the importance of the pattern and gently returning to it the next day without judgment. Just as important as darkness at night is brightness in the morning. As soon as you can after waking up, expose your eyes to bright light. The ideal source is natural sunlight. Open your curtains wide. If you can, step outside for 10 to 15 minutes. Have your morning tea or coffee on a porch or by a sunny window. The bright light hits your retina and sends a powerful signal to your master clock, shutting down melatonin production and ramping up your daytime alertness hormones. It's like setting your internal clock accurately at the very start of the day. This strong morning signal not only helps you feel awake and focused during the day, but it also makes the release of melatonin in the evening more robust and timely. You are essentially creating a stronger, more defined rhythm of day and night within your own body. Your choices around food and drink throughout the day also play a crucial role. We know caffeine has a long half-life, so it's wise to make it a morning-only beverage. Consider setting a personal caffeine curfew, perhaps no later than 2 in the afternoon, to ensure it's not interfering with your sleep pressure signals at night. When it comes to meals, try to have your main evening meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime to give your body ample time to digest. If you find you feel hungry before bed, a large meal isn't the answer. Instead, a small, sleep-friendly snack can be helpful. Something like a small banana, a handful of almonds, or a small bowl of oatmeal with milk. These foods contain things like magnesium, potassium, and tryptophan, which is a precursor to both serotonin and melatonin. They can gently support your body's natural sleep processes without burdening your digestive system. And remember our conversation about hydration. Focus on drinking water steadily throughout the day rather than trying to catch up with large amounts in the evening. This keeps your body in a state of balance and can prevent both the sleep-disrupting effects of dehydration and the need to get up to use the restroom. Finally, while these lifestyle strategies are incredibly powerful and effective for many, it is essential to know when it's time to seek deeper support. It is a sign of wisdom and self-respect to recognize when you might need a partner in solving this puzzle. A question that often comes up in one form or another is, when is my sleep problem more than just a few bad nights? When should I actually be concerned enough to talk to a doctor? And that's a brilliant and important question to ask. A good rule of thumb is to consider both duration and impact. If you have been struggling with falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up feeling unrefreshed for several weeks or longer, and if it is consistently affecting your daytime mood, energy, and, of course, your ability to focus, then it is a wonderful time to schedule a conversation with your healthcare professional. This is especially true if you suspect an underlying physical issue. If you are dealing with chronic pain that is not well managed, or if you are getting up multiple times a night to use the restroom, a doctor can help investigate the root cause and find solutions that will, in turn, vastly improve your sleep. It's also critically important if you or your partner suspect you might have a condition like sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is characterized by repeated pauses in breathing during sleep. The person is often unaware of it, but these pauses cause the brain to jolt itself partially awake to restart breathing, completely shattering the sleep architecture. The most common sign is loud, chronic snoring, often interspersed with choking or gasping sounds, along with significant daytime sleepiness. If this sounds familiar, it is absolutely essential to get it checked out, as sleep apnea has serious implications for long-term health, but it is also very treatable. A conversation with your doctor about sleep is not a complaint. It is a collaboration. You are the world's leading expert on your own body and your own experiences. Your doctor is a partner with the medical knowledge and diagnostic tools to help you put the pieces of the puzzle together. It can be helpful to go to your appointment prepared. You might even consider keeping a simple sleep diary for a week or two beforehand. Note down when you go to bed, roughly when you fall asleep, how many times you wake up, when you get out of bed in the morning, and how you feel during the day. This simple data can be incredibly valuable for your doctor. It transforms a vague complaint of "I'm not sleeping well" into a concrete pattern that can be analyzed. This proactive approach empowers both you and your doctor to work together to find the right path forward, whether it's further investigation, a referral to a sleep specialist, or simply reassurance and targeted advice. It is the ultimate act of taking charge of your well-being, paving the way for countless nights of restorative rest and countless days of the clear, calm focus you deserve. And so, we find ourselves at the quiet end of our journey together tonight. We have walked through the cluttered room of the tired mind, and we have met the gentle saboteurs of our rest. We have also gathered a basket of beautiful, simple tools, the deep darkness of a sleep sanctuary, the steady hum of a fan creating a cocoon of sound, the heartfelt ritual of a digital sunset, the profound relief of a worry journal. We have seen that the path to a clear, focused mind tomorrow is paved with the small, compassionate choices we make for ourselves tonight. It can feel like a great deal to remember, a long list of things to do and not do. But I want to invite you, right now, to let go of that list. Let it all dissolve. Think of these ideas not as strict rules, but as gentle invitations from your own body and mind. An invitation to create darkness. An invitation to find coolness. An invitation to breathe deeply. An invitation to be still. You do not have to do everything perfectly. There is no test to pass, no grade to be earned. The simple act of setting an intention, of deciding that your rest is worthy of care and attention, is the most powerful first step. Even one small change, perhaps simply putting your phone to bed a little earlier tonight, or taking 5 slow, deep breaths once you are settled under the covers, can begin a beautiful ripple effect of well-being that will echo into your tomorrow. You are simply learning to listen again to the ancient, wise rhythm that beats within you, the rhythm of activity and rest, of daylight and darkness. It is a rhythm that has been obscured by the noise and the brightness of our modern world, but it has never truly been lost. It is still there, waiting patiently for you to listen. And now, there is nothing left to learn. There is nothing left to analyze or solve. The work of the day is done. The work of this exploration is done. All that is left is to simply be. To be here, in this moment, in this bed, in this soft and quiet space you have created for yourself. Allow your attention to drift away from the world of thoughts and ideas, and let it come to rest gently on the world of your senses. Notice the feeling of the blanket or the sheet resting upon your skin. Is it heavy, or is it light? Is it warm, or is it cool? There is no right answer. There is only the simple, peaceful sensation of being held. Feel the pillow beneath your head, how it cradles the weight of your thoughts and allows the muscles in your neck and shoulders to finally, truly, let go. Give your head permission to be heavy. Give your shoulders permission to be heavy. Let that feeling of gentle, pleasant heaviness begin to spread down through your arms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Let it flow down through your torso, releasing all the tension you may have been holding in your back and your belly. And let it continue down through your legs, all the way to the soles of your feet, until every part of you feels grounded, supported, and deeply at rest. Your only task now is to breathe. You don't have to change your breath, or control it in any way. Just notice it. Notice the gentle, effortless rise of your chest or your belly as you breathe in. And notice the soft, complete release as you breathe out. Each breath out is an opportunity to let go just a little bit more. With each exhale, you can release the day that has passed. You can release the conversations, the worries, the plans. They will all be there for you tomorrow, but they do not belong here, in this sanctuary of rest. Imagine each exhale is a soft, warm cloud, carrying away anything that no longer serves you in this moment, leaving behind only a growing sense of peace and stillness. Sleep is a shy visitor. It does not like to be chased or demanded. It cannot be forced. It prefers to be welcomed, to be invited in by the quiet of the mind and the peace of the heart. So we will not try to fall asleep. We will simply rest. We will create the most beautiful, welcoming, peaceful space we can, and we will trust that sleep will arrive in its own perfect time, just as the dawn arrives after the darkest part of the night. You have done everything you need to do. You have prepared your sanctuary. You have honored your body and your mind. And now, you can simply surrender to the stillness. You can trust the profound, innate wisdom of your body to carry out its nightly miracle of cleansing and restoration. The diligent cleaning crew and the wise librarian are ready to begin their work, as soon as you give them the gift of your uninterrupted peace. So just allow your awareness to float now. Perhaps you can imagine yourself drifting on a calm, still lake, under a vast and starry sky. The water is holding you, the night air is soft on your skin, and the stars above are watching over you. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to do. You are safe. You are comfortable. And you are so ready for a deep and peaceful rest. Let the gentle rocking of the water soothe you. Let the soft darkness behind your eyelids grow deeper, and softer, and more peaceful. Let my voice just become a part of the background hum, another gentle wave lapping at the shore of your consciousness, fading now, drifting, floating, easy, so soft and quiet. It is time to rest, time to let go completely, time to sleep now.